bó ṣe burúkú ló bá yàn láàyò ìwọ máa ṣe lọ tó bá ṣe bèrè ló bá mọ̀ ṣàtì máa ṣe lọ mo mọ̀ dájú ọjọ́ kan ń bọ̀ gbogbo wọn bá ń gbéṣe ní kọ̀kọ̀ la ó gbé sí gbangba gbogbo wọn bá ń gbéṣe ní kọ̀nà làwọn ayé ò máa wò ẹni tó bá létí kó gbọ́rọ̀ mi ẹni bá fẹ́ kó gbà ọjọ́ kan ìkẹyìn gbogbo wa la ó ríra wa á ríra ríra á ríra ríra á ríra ríra gbogbo wa la ó ríra wa.
Hi everyone, welcome to Wisdom for Exploits. I am your host Bola Amore. Today I am delighted to have a wonderful guest with me. He is a gospel singer. The subject of today's discussion is the challenges of gospel singers. Before my guest speaks and tell us who he is, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we release new videos. Thank you. Sir, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Goke Bajowa. People call me Prince Goke Bajowa. I'm a music minister as well as a Christian artist. So I'm a Nigerian from Ondo State of Nigeria. I'm married by the grace of God to only one wife.
Wonderful.
And the union is blessed with 3 children. So I'm a graduate of mechanical engineering from one of Nigerian's high institutions. Music is what I play. That's the career I'm practicing now, despite the fact that music wasn't my discipline while I was in school. So yeah, so I have a lot of hit tracks that I've released over these years and albums. Some of them are the likes of Ìwọ Kọ́ Ló Dá Mi, Ìwọ Kọ́ Ló Dá Mi, Ó Sì Sọ̀rọ̀ Bí Elédùmarè, Á Sọ̀rọ̀ Máyé O. And then another one, Á Ríra Ríra, Gbogbo Wa La Ó Ríra Wa. Another one, Ojúmọ́ Ire Mọ́ Mi Lónìí, and lots of songs like that. So over these years, I've practiced music for more than 20 years now. Going to about 23, 25 years now.
Wow.
Professionally. And then so far, God has been good. God has been good. He's been faithful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome to this talk show, and I am delighted to host you today. Okay, I know when you were introducing yourself, you sang about 2 or 3 songs. So which of the music is best, or do you really love so much to sing? Can you just sing that to Rami? Can you just sing that song to us in a little, for a few minutes, please?
Okay. Bó ṣe burúkú ló bá yàn láàyò ìwọ máa ṣe lọ tó bá ṣe bèrè ló bá mọ̀ ṣàtì máa ṣe lọ mo mọ̀ dájú ọjọ́ kan ń bọ̀ gbogbo wọn bá ń gbéṣe ní kọ̀kọ̀ la ó gbé sí gbangba gbogbo wọn bá ń gbéṣe ní kọ̀nà làwọn ayé ò máa wò ẹni tó bá létí kó gbọ́rọ̀ mi ẹni bá fẹ́ kó gbà ọjọ́ kan ìkẹyìn gbogbo wa la ó ríra wa á ríra ríra á ríra ríra á ríra ríra gbogbo wa la ó ríra wa.
Wow. Well done, sir. That's wonderful. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Well done. More anointing in Jesus' name. So we're going to dive into our question today. As I said, we're going to be looking at the challenges of gospel singers. So my first question to you, Prince Bajowa, is why did you choose to be a gospel singer? Is it a calling or something you have passion for?
All right. It is both.
Okay.
Yes. It started as a passion, as a craft, as a profession. Yes, that is the way it started. And then that is how it starts, really, for anybody who is a music artist.
Okay.
Whether you're gospel or whatever you are, music is first your profession. Yes, yes. The reason why it is like that is because imagine if there was no Christianity today. Imagine Jesus never came. Imagine we are just alive today. Many of us doing music as gospel artists, we are still going to be musicians. Yes. So the profession side, the crafts side of music cannot be thrown away. That is what we all are. That's our profession. However, because we are Christians, we chose to also use our profession to work for God.
Wow.
To support the gospel. Just like other professionals. For instance, we have people who are medical doctors. Professionally, that's their discipline. But when it comes to things of God, they can also use that gift, that profession, to work for God and then bless the people of God. You know, even if it's other professionals like electrical engineers, for instance, they can do their work in the circular. When it comes to the things of God, there's a special arrangement, a special package to be considered to be able to help the things of God. So music is that category too. Music is a profession first.
Okay.
Before the gospel thing comes in, before evangelism comes. So if somebody asks now, what is my work? What do I do? I'll tell you professionally, my career is I'm a musician. I'm an artist. However, because I'm a Christian, when it comes to the things of God, I have to consider the ministry side. Everybody has a profession. God expects us all to use our profession to work for him in one way or the other.
Wonderful.
Yes. So the question you asked, the answer to it is both.
Yeah.
Yes. I am a musician by profession, and then I'm also a music minister. The profession thing comes first, because at the time I started playing music, I wasn't even a Christian yet. I was very little. So I didn't even know what it meant to be born again. I've been playing music since I was 3-4 years old. Yes, I was born with it. So if I was never a Christian, I would still be a musician. So music had been with me. So all along, music was first my craft, my passion first. The passion comes first. The passion is what develops into the profession, into the career.
That's
and then I grew up and I began to understand what Jesus came to do for us. As began to creep into my life, as I began to understand the need to be born again, to be a Christian, understand the passion of Christ for eternity, then I became a music artist who does music for the works of God too. So together, it cannot be separated.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's the way it is.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So actually, you've really covered my second question, because my second question is, how did your journey into music begin? And I know you've expanded that. And what role did your environment play in shaping your sound? So that part of my question, what role in your community, the community you belong to, or the environment, what role did your environment play in shaping your sound or message?
Yes, the environment where I grew up really helped me. Yes, because I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
I know that people who were born into Christian families, but they grew up elsewhere. So I grew up with my nuclear family, my immediate family, my siblings and my parents. The two of them were alive. They are still alive till today. So I grew up in their midst, and we were Christians. So going to church was always, one of the things we used to do. And then mingling with Christians who do the kind of music that I do today, and then listening to the kind of music that I play today was part of the things that we used to do in the family. Yes, so I didn't have the opportunity to listen to too much of immoral, let me use that word, immoral. I listened to a lot of secular music, lots of secular, and lots of music too. But the secular music that I listened to were not the kind of music that had low moral standards. No. That moral thing was always a key, thing. It was a key demand in my family. We were not allowed to watch anything, out of out of moral standards on the TVs. Mindset, that ideology, I grew up with it.
Wow.
So those were one of the things that shaped my thinking, and then my understanding of, how important the words that we speak, the music that we hear, how this music, how they transform into the lives that we live, and how it is so important that whatever we are releasing as sound, it is important that we release things that bless the life of people rather than corrupt good morals. So all those things, had been part of me right from childhood. So when I started playing music, I didn't have any reason to go astray. Yes. So I was already on the path towards it, and then the people I mingled with were like minds. When I was in church, yes, people I mingled with were people like me, and then as God brought along my path some people who knew how to play the kind of instrument that I play today. I was the boys brigade while I was in church, while I was young, and then we play with musical instruments, trumpets, drums, and all those things. That was where I learned some of these musical instruments. I have an idea of almost all the instruments. However, I chose this one because I had somebody who was a trumpeter and who insisted that he wanted me to learn how to play the trumpet.
Wow.
So, like an arrangement by God, because I didn't even know that trumpet was going to be so useful to me. I started seeing that my music were channeled along gospel high life. And if you look at high life as a music, you see that this trumpet is one of the key instruments that are being used to play high life. So consequently, it became like the instrument that I, really sat down to study how to play was the lead instrument in the kind of instrument that I chose to play.
Wow.
So it was more like an arranged thing, arranged even when I didn't even know about it. Yes. So that was how it happened, and then all those things all together, they shaped my perspective about music, about life, and then the kind of music that I play today. And then the effect is obvious, it's showing.
Thank you so much, Prince, for that insight. You mentioned something about, what we listen to really affects us, isn't it? And that's why I normally say, because, when anything you consume, it always affects you. And sometimes, what do you say to people that says, but I'm not listening to I'm just listening to the sound. I'm not listening to the lyric. Well, what will you say to that? Because some people like to justify that even though they're a believer, because all those worldly music, like me, for example, and I've mentioned it so many times in my messages, that before I got born again, before I came to know the Lord, I listened to different kind of music. I love gospel music, and I love other secular music, all these Shina Peters, all this Michael Jackson. Even when we're going to party, it's always in my head. When we're younger, we're in school. So when they say there is a party, throughout that week, I won't listen in school. It's that party that my mind will be the dance I'm going to dance, all those songs I'm going to listen to. So those are one of the things I struggle with. And that's why sometimes when I see people listening to music, worldly music, I do tell them, I say, it will impact your life, because anything you listen to that does not glorify God, you understand, is not making sense. But some people do justify that, no, I just like the beats. I just I'm not listening to the lyrics. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not listening to the lyrics. So what do you say to people that justify that the music they're listening to is nice, but they said, okay, I'm a believer and I'm still okay to listen to secular music?
Okay, you see, let me first start by saying the word secular. When you call something secular music, it does not automatically mean that it's bad or that it's bad music. Let's start from there. Let's get the meaning of that word right. A lot of people think when you say something is secular, music is secular, they look at it as bad music. There's, in relative terms, secular music does not mean bad.
Yeah, so okay, continue, because the secular I'm talking about the worldly one, the one they say all those sort of, yeah.
Yes, I'm coming to that. Now, so music can be secular and can still be good.
True.
Good. Yes. However, as a Christian, it is not good to listen to morally corrupt music.
That's it.
Music that is morally corrupt. There's some music that they are specifically crafted to corrupt our minds, to corrupt our morals, and to bring bad thoughts into us. As Christians, music like that, you see, music is very powerful. You continue to listen to the kinds of music we are describing here, and then all kinds of things like alcoholism, drugs, abuse, prostitution, and anything that is immoral. And then there's also some other demonic things that comes through music. You know, if you are not careful and you listen to too much of it, your mind is not matured enough to filter out what you don't need and pick the one that is good. Before you know it, it will begin to affect you. You begin to think about it. It becomes the life you live. Yes. So because of that, we need to be careful. If you continue to say that I'm just listening to the beat, I'm not listening to the lyrics, has a way of entering into your heart. It will go beyond the realm of your mind into your heart, even without you knowing it. So if you pay attention to it, you will know when it's going to overwhelm your mind and take over you.
True.
Yes. Especially for children. You know, sometimes we who are adults and then who are very professional with our works, we know how to listen to, if we have to listen to music like that for other reasons. For instance, I'm a professional now. Sometimes I could deliberately go and listen to certain kinds of music because of a project I want to do that is related to it. Yes, sometimes it is a mix, the production, it is the construction of the song, you know, the how the song was composed, the structure of the song, or the kind of instrument that was used there. Or sometimes I want to listen to the harmonies, depending on the demands of the work I want to do. But at that point, I already know that the motive behind my listening is not because I want to enjoy it. Because I know the motive behind my listening, I have a mindset that will filter anything that is not going to overwhelm me. Because I already went with a motive. So apart from that, it is always good to avoid. It's just like saying, show me your friends and then I'll tell you who you are. If you are not a bad person, if you are a good person and you begin to mingle with bad people, if you live together in the same neighborhood and then you do things together every day, before you know what is happening, some of the things that they do will begin to filter into your life.
Sure.
That is the way music is. In fact, music is even worse because it is something you enjoy. The Bible says the songs that we sing and the words that we speak, they are spirits and they are life.
Yeah, true.
Those things have a way of going ahead of you, and then they will form character, they will form certain things around you, they will influence how you think. Unless you have a mind that is already formed, whereby no matter how much, there are people like that, no matter how much, if you put them in the midst of certain all this kind of music for donkey years, you know, if you force it into their ears, they will, nothing will affect them. They already but people are like that. Lots of people are influenced by what we hear.
True.
By what you see, it's just like saying the food that we eat is what reflects on our skin. That's the way it is. It will go in there and over time it will start manifesting. So people need to understand that. So as Christians that we are, what makes us Christians, what makes us gospel music ministers, the words that we speak, you see, the kind of mood that we carry when we minister. What do we portray? The songs that we sing, where are they coming from?
True.
What is the history? All those things have to be linked back to something that stands for the values that we profess. Yes. So as much as possible, it is not good for us to be, because, and even when you have the Holy Spirit, the Spirit in you should help to put a limit to how far you can go on things like that.
Very true.
Yes, there are some songs that we should not, you know, be finding in the circle of where Christians are.
True. I'm still coming to. I think I have a question on that roundabout. And what you're saying, Prince, is like, as I said that before when I gave my life to Christ, one of the things I struggle with is that music thing, because I used to say this: if my mommy asked me to go to Oshodi to go and get something, and if I hear music, it could be Kollington, it could be Barrister, it could be even all those R&B, whatever, the one I like, all this Tina Turner and all those stuff. If I hear it, maybe an Igbo guy is playing that music, you won't believe it. I will stand in front of that shop and listen to the old. that is how it is. That is how bad it was that time. And I will stand in front of the shop until that music is finished before I get on my bus and go home. That was why I was bad. And one thing is that I thought I'm the only one. Then later on, I met another. She's a pastor's wife as well. And she said to me, anytime I listen to, one day they were talking about, I think doing this, what's it called, X Factor, when they normally doing in UK here. I think they copied it back home as well in Nigeria. That all these musicians, they come and sing just to pick talents and launch them out into the music world. This is not gospel. This is just ordinary music, And this lady said, she said to me, anytime I listen to all these boys to, he loved boys to men, boys to men, and all those one I don't even want to mention because that is not where we're here for. So she said to me, anytime I listen to all this music, when I sleep, that is the lyric that comes to my dream. And I said, wow, exactly the same thing that always happened. And that's why, because of that, I used to tell people, it's not the matter of that, I just like the beat, I'm not listening to the lyric. No, it will always come back to you ringing. And if you're not strong, like you said, that your mind is so strong, and even though they put you in the midst of wherever, maybe Nollywood, and they're singing in there, that song will not have an impact with your life. But thank you so much for that. So what song or lyric have you written that speak from your deepest personal experience in ministry?
Well, personally, I often tell people this. I don't sing songs out of my own personal experience.
Okay.
I don't. No. There is really no song that I post out of my personal experience.
Okay.
I'm not that type of, I don't do that kind of thing. If I wanted to, I could do if I wanted to do it really. But I don't compose songs out of emotions.
Okay.
Something that happened to me. No. I just look at topics that I know people can learn from. Topics that are directly related to the lives that we live. Yes, that have discussions that can be applied. That people can learn from it. Things that are happening that people need to learn from. That's what I look at. And then of course it has to be in relation to Christian values too. Yes, it has to be within the confines of good morals and gospel.
Good.
Yes, so it's intentional that I go look for topics like that. Yes, not because something happened to me and then the next thing I want to use it to compose a song. No, it's not that. Yeah. However, some of the songs that I have composed during the course of time, I realized that some of the things I was talking about, just like I thought about it, and now it happening to people around me and even me myself. But that was after the song had already been done, not before.
Wow.
So it's like buttressing the fact that it was the right choice, the right decision for me to have composed a song around that topic. Yes, because in the long run, I now started seeing, a direct relevance of that song, even in everyday activities happening around me. Yes. So that's the way it happens.
Okay, thank you for that. So could you describe some of the greatest personal difficulties you have dealt with as a gospel singer and how you eventually prevail over them?
One of the difficulties that we experienced as Christian artists, where music is the same everywhere, fundamental, so the same copyright laws, the same government policies that affect secular music is that works for gospel music too. So that's why I said technically music is the same. It's just the words that we speak that makes it different. That's why we call it gospel. It's not as different as such. So the challenges that we faced were challenges like funds, promotions, going to the studios to record. All those things, they are cost intensive, capital intensive. They require money. To record, to finance it, to do your mass production. All those times that we still use, we're still using cassettes and CDs. Of money to produce, to publish, to duplicate, mass produce, and then you still come back. You have to promote. You have to take it to radio stations and TV stations.
Okay.
And then do videos to promote your work, and then networking. All those things require facilities. And then Nigeria was then, or even it is still like that. No, the entertainment industry does not have the backing of the government, whereby we can have access to facilities. Even things that are other sectors of the economy, they don't have facilities. Our government is not making these things easy for us, whereby you can walk into a bank, or some kind of credit society that is run by the government, whereby they are specifically doing releasing funds for people on matters of entertainment, matters of music, matters that are related to what you are doing. All those things are not available, and then even the few places where you get them is a lot of struggles. And then that's why all these people who are supposed to be promoters, who are supposed to be marketers, many of them, they can't do the work properly because they don't have access to funds. So one of the problems we faced, there were no good promoters, no good distributors. So many of these things we struggled to do it ourselves. But it was a good thing that we had. Many of us got lots of favors from media practitioners, terrestrial media, radio presenters and TV presenters. Many of them helped us a lot because we couldn't afford the money to go and be doing all those promotions on their stations. But they will take the CDs from us. If they see that you have a very good job, a good song, whatever little thing you have to appreciate, they will take that little thing and then they will help you to promote even beyond, far beyond the little that you were able to pay. Those are one of the things that helped us in the midst of these difficulties I was talking about.
Okay.
So that difficulty, funds, access to funds, because music needs a lot of money. Anything entertainment needs money to push it. Pre-production, post-production, promotions, distributions, and all kinds of things. And then another problem that we had, again, that is still around even today anyway, is the problem of our copyright space and the privacy thing. All those things did not allow the proceeds of our work to reach us the proper way. There were no proper structures that will ensure that as you are pushing your job out, the you are supposed to get, that they are coming back to you. Such structures. The market was so disorganized, such that those times when you make your CDs or when you just finish your songs, before you even start to produce your first set of copies, people who are pirating your work have already saturated the market with that same work, before you produce, 1,000 copies, they already have like 10,000 copies circulating in the market. Wondering, and then it costs lots of struggles and then misunderstandings between us and people who were supposed to be our marketers. So all those things, we went through all those things, and then it made it difficult, really. But somehow, some way, we were able to push through. And then you know that even the church in Nigeria, the church itself, lots of churches, they had this mindset that does not see music as a profession. Yes, there were some of them that saw it from the professional angle, and then they helped indigenous artists. Yes, there were a few churches like that who would help them to maybe organize launching albums so that they could raise funds to produce. We even had some churches that went as far as having record labels. We feel like that. Those ones have that orientation, they have that mindset, that orientation, that ideology, and then they pursued it, and it helped some of the artists. Churches, but most other churches did not see it that way. They saw music like it's strictly ministry, and then just do it the way it comes. They wouldn't go extra mile to put structure, help you, to, even though you're doing gospel music, they see it as it's not a profession. It's not something that just do it, and then you don't have to look at taking it to higher levels. They did not see it as finances need to go into it. Nobody cared. And then these things are not right, because if you look at some of the churches that did these things the right way, that went as far as supporting their artists, you see that they have produced some of the best artists that Nigeria ever had. Because structure that the church put around them. Now, I'm not saying that artists should now be waiting for church to push them. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
It is not primarily the work of the church to do it. But if you are a Christian and your church sees you as you are doing gospel music, which is helping to propagate the gospel, and they see that you are sincere with it, it's a bad thing. If they find a way to rally around and then push you, even their platforms, with their sites, with whatever platform they have, with the crowd, with the congregation, just like some churches did. That is like Nigeria here. I don't want to mention names, but if you go to do the search, you will see. Like I said, some went as far as having record labels, and then before you mention 4, 5, 6 artists in Nigeria today, you mention at least 2 or 3 of their artists there. But that the church had on them, So many churches then, they didn't see it as a profession. They just saw it like it's a ministry. So even when you come to minister, some of them don't even understand, the angle that you need to be blessed financially. Some of them that mindset. Things are changing now, really. Lots of people have come to understand that thing now. We are doing it right now. At least we have a good number of people who are doing that. But those times, it used to be, I'm talking of 25 years ago, 20 years ago. It wasn't as good as this. It used to be, very, very, very tedious then, back then, the mindset that the church has about these things. But now people are going to understand that this thing is both a ministry and both a profession. That will be good, needs to be supported financially. So one it's getting better, and I'm sure that with time it will even still get even better.
Thank you very much. Actually, you cover my question, because when you were mentioning all these obstacles, I was about to ask that what about somebody that got the talent and they're in the church and even their pastors knows about it, but you've covered the ground. You covered the ground. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you so much for that. And I pray that God will open the understanding of majority of the ministers that see music as just a plaything, but not like you're ministering as well. You understand? Thank you very much for in fact covering that into in depth. So how do say a gospel singer balance ministry and music business? You know, we know that you mentioned something now that the churches doesn't see it as a real profession or
Yes.
business, you understand? So now this question is that how do gospel singer balance ministry and music business, especially when financial stability becomes a concern?
Well, you see, like you said, playing music is one thing, and then music business is another thing. What we call music business, which is strictly business. The fact that you are doing gospel music, that you ministering music, does not excuse you from not doing the business angle of it. Because, for instance, when you want to go and do your recording in the studio now, you want to go and do mass production, you want to do publishing, you want to put your music on online stores, all those things cost money. You spend money. Those people who are doing those things, you are not going to go there and tell them it's gospel I'm doing now, please don't take money from me. They will take money from you. So we can never throw away the business angle. It has to be factored into everything that we do. So the way to do that starts from when you are producing. Right from when you are doing your job, you have to carry people along. People who will handle your administrative matters and the marketing matters, the business matters, as far as branding, as far as digitalization, social media experts who will help you to push your music out. Yes, even copyright lawyers, intellectual property lawyers, all those things need to be in the package if you really want to do it properly. So if you involve all those things from the onset, those people are not musicians like you. They are thinking something else different from you. Many times we musicians, we are not marketers, we don't have the minds that these people carry. There are people who are management personnel. What they do is to manage. They don't care whether your music is gospel or not. You are the one who cares that it is gospel. As far as they are concerned, they want to make sure that as you are spending money to push the music out, money is coming back inside so that there can be continuity. So that is the way to balance it. You can't do it alone. Involve people who are professionals in all those fields and form a team. You need to have a media team, you need to have a marketing team, and then all those people who do networking, and then you need to have a team that does branding.
Okay.
Those people who do branding, they are psychologists. They look at what you are playing, they look at your audience, and then they channel it through the proper channels. The kind of audience that will respond to you. That's another thing entirely different entirely that you cannot do yourself, that people have to do for you. So the way to balance it, that is the business and the music perspectives, is to carry those people along from the start. Even sometimes you might even need them in terms of inspiration, how you compose your things, the kind of thing you put in your song to be able to attract the kind of audience you want to attract.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where to balance it. Every professional that is involved in whatever field that is needed, they should be part of the whole project from the start, and then you plan together.
Okay. Prince, you're talking from the angle now. I know I asked the question of somebody that make the gospel music as their real business now, or what they need to put in place, which is very fantastic. But I want this question keep coming to me. I know we've talked about the church that they're not really helping because the majority doesn't have the knowledge. But thank God now that some churches, they have their own record label and they are projecting their gospel artists. I mean, those ones that have the talent and they know that, okay, this is your calling. Let's push you out and go and do great exploits. So the question coming to me is a two-way question. Let me just first go to the first one. You know, there are some gospel artists, there are some people that have talent in the church that sing, you understand? And they have secular job.
Yes.
You understand? So those ones, how do we, are they going to be, would they do the same? Would they be looking at the angle because they have their own secular job and now the church called them to come and minister? Okay. Would they be looking that, okay, I'm ministering to the church. Should the church give me honorarium? Because when we look at from that angle, they have their secular job already. They're using the other one like a part-time or like, you know, some people, they have all this like an hobby. You understand? Even though the talent is there, they can sing, they can dance. So should they be charging the church? Let me put the church now, because if somebody is doing naming or wedding, that one is another case entirely. You know, you can get paid for that. We can charge people for that. So should they be charging the church before the minister?
Okay, now you see, if all things are done properly and moderately, nothing outrageous. If things are done properly and moderately, note those words. There is nothing wrong in artists, music ministers charging. I'm careful to use the word charge because our people have abused it. People have become some of our people have become so outrageous in the way they place their demands. Some of them are even rude, too pompous, too arrogant. You know, the way they place the demands, they make it look like it's too transactional. You take it on. If you cannot afford it, just leave it. You know, we are not coming. If you can't meet up with this and then there's nothing to discuss, you know all those things. That is what I don't like personally, what I think is wrong. You know, that is what differentiates us from, okay, where's the gospel thing? You always, even when it comes to churches and then matters of gospel, there should be a way to, you know, to discuss things, engage in discussion and find a way to meet at the center point.
Okay.
If you put grounds a little, don't be rude, engage in discussions, place your demands in a polite way.
Okay.
Yes, I think that is where we usually get it wrong. That's why I said I want to be careful in using the word charging.
Okay.
Yes, it's not bad to, personally I don't call it charging. I call it expenses for logistics and continuity.
Okay.
But if the people who invite us, if they don't pay us or give us this thing that is commensurate to what we are, you know, what the expenses that we incur, that thing will not continue. Don't forget, people that we work with, they are professionals. Some of them went to school to study music. They spent time, money, resources, energy. Some of them that didn't go to school, they did apprenticeship. One music school or the other. It's not easy to learn how to play instruments. Music is a profession. Don't forget, people who go to school to get doctorate, professorship in music. So it's a profession. So if you see it like that, you will know that the people who work with you, of which you cannot do it alone, even if you call yourself that you are the one that God called, some people lose it from the angle of calling. People are, God did not call them when he was calling you, and you need to carry these people along. You must pay them for their job. And, you know, so from that angle, it is important that we bring discussions of about money, about honorarium into this matter. So because somebody has a job that is doing elsewhere outside will not stop music from being the profession that it is.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say now is that, okay, a particular person, you belong to a particular church, yeah,
Okay.
and you have a circular job, well
Oh,
paid job.
that is the church where you worship.
Yeah, your church you worship, you get
Okay.
a, you're well paid, and now the church have a program. And
Okay.
because they see you as a gospel artist and you've been singing all over the place, now your
Yeah.
church wants you to come and sing. And you are
Okay.
not, the church have to pay you. Or, yeah, we know that normally the church should give honorarium, even though, yeah, you have like just to appreciate, okay, brother, because of your team, yeah, we're blessing you with this. But must they charge? Because that is not their major
Where you
profession.
worship.
Yeah, let's say where you worship, yeah,
Okay.
or a body of Christ.
Okay. This is a church where you worship.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you how I handle it personally.
Okay.
Myself as an example. The church where I worship, if I'm invited, I don't place demands unless they ask me.
Okay.
If they ask me that, what should we prepare for you? I will go to them and tell them. If they don't ask me, I'll just let them know that I'm going to bring so and so number of people, and this is what I plan to give them. So please arrange so and so things for my people. And then beyond that, if you have anything you want to give me personally, no problem, you can add it on top.
Okay.
Yes. So it depends on the way they are bringing it.
Okay.
But a lot of times I'm not adamant on, if you don't pay this amount, I'm not coming. No, I don't do that.
Good. So what about, okay, you said it, because I want to include the what if it's a body of Christ, let's say there is a ministry that is very young and they need a gospel artist, they have a functions, and it is a young ministry growing up and they're still struggling to get on their feet.
Yes.
And now they invite a gospel artist and he's saying, okay, you're going to pay so amount. So what do you see to that as well?
That is why I said we have to be flexible.
Okay.
We have to understand that all fingers are not equal.
Okay.
Like me, for instance, I don't have a fixed amount that I take everywhere I go. No. I know that there will be people who might not be able to pay certain amounts, and sincerely they are not able to. And you will know. If you do your findings, you will see that these people are not capable. Now, if I don't have any reason not to go, like other appointments, other commitments that will take my time that day, sometimes if I come across people like that, I consider them and try to come to their level as much as possible. I sit down, I discuss with them, because I don't like situations where I want to minister somewhere and then money is the reason why I'm not going there. If I won't go there, let it be for other reasons.
Okay.
Not because they can't afford what I want to take. So many times I'm flexible. I come down on whatever. You know, there are people who will invite you. They will pay you 2 million, 3 million. They don't even know they are paying any money. But you can't expect that from everybody. There are people who will even struggle to pay 100,000. It's your full team that you went there with. So we should also consider people like that. When they come and they want you, and then you see that you are free on that day, let us try to be accommodating people like this. You know, at least once a while. We should have that spirit that these people need us, they want us, they want to be evangelized onto, they want to be blessed by our ministry. You know, so sincerely between us and God, let us find a way to also accommodate people like this. Unless there's a very good reason, maybe you have another program that is, of course, a very, very big program, or someone that you cannot disappoint. It happens where you would have loved to go there, but because of other appointments you won't go. But let it not always be because I asked them to pay this amount of money, so they are not paying, so I'm not going. And then you sit down at home, you don't even go anywhere on that day.
Okay, based on what you just said, so the other question now for you: have you faced restriction or stereotypes as a gospel artist? What is your reaction to that? Have you faced restriction or stereotypes as a gospel artist?
What kind of restrictions, please?
Restriction could be, maybe, let me use an example. Maybe they said, oh, you're in a concert, for example, I'm just going to use that. And they said, oh, this is not the kind of music we want. You're too local. You know, your music is too local for us. We want the hip hop one that people will jump, you know, the dancing. Let me just say something like that.
That has not happened to me before. Rather, the ones that have happened to me is that I rejected certain offers to come and minister.
Okay.
For things like this.
Yes.
Anybody who is inviting me, I'm using myself as an example now. Many times they already know the kind of musician that I do.
Okay.
Yes. They know that I don't compromise standards. They know that I have certain things I don't do. Okay. You know. So if they don't know, when they come discussing, if I see that there's need to discuss it, there might be tendencies, you know, of them requesting for certain things. I let them know these are my standards. If I see that they are not coming up to that standard, I might decide not to go. Okay. But not of times, I would rather not go. I will let them know, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
So it hasn't such restrictions have not happened to me from people. Rather, it has been the other way around.
Okay.
You know, I'm the ones that, you know, place the boundaries and they let them know that this is how it's going to go. So if you want to go down well with them, in fact, sometimes I even suggest other artists to them that could do the kind of thing they want. And give it to them the way they want it.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that. How do gospel singers deal with criticism from people outside of the church and from within the Christian community, especially when it comes to their music styles or collaboration with other artists?
You see, when you do anything that's right, that does not uphold the values of Christianity, if you do it and then you are that means you are the cause. So you should be ready for any criticisms.
Okay.
Yes, as long as, because if you didn't do anything wrong, then the word criticism will not even come up in the first place. But if you were the one that did it, then you should be ready to accept in humility and then make necessary corrections, make necessary amendments. Yes, because anything you are doing that is, you yourself know. You know, all these are people that, you know, come on stage on Christian platforms and they begin to sing all kinds of secular songs, and then songs that are not, you know, that are not good for worship, you know, that are not good enough for the church environment. You know that they may not be bad songs like that as such, but you see that there are songs that they sing in parties, social gatherings, and then they bring it to church and then they begin to sing it. You know, there's something our God wants. The God came to worship. There are certain things he likes to hear.
Sure.
If you go outside of that boundary and then other things, you know yourself that it is wrong. So these things are coming. When people are criticizing you for doing that, you should be ready for it. And you should have good faith and be able to accept your fault, and then you should apologize for doing it. And then next time you are ministering or you find yourself in such a situation, you should correct it. That is the maturity that we are looking for.
But what about some gospel artists that say this is what is trending because we're ministering to Gen Z? This is the kind of the style Gen Z wants. And we want to please our generation. We're in the new generation now. So we need to dig it up.
There's a limit. There are boundaries we don't cross. No matter. They should know that first, the gathering is unto God. First. You are leading the people to worship God. If you have that at the back of your mind, you will know that if you had God on seat physically, that you are looking at him, there are some things you will not sing before him. Even if you have a worldly king before you, you'll be careful the kind of song you are singing. How much more God? So Not an excuse. You cannot corrupt the atmosphere because you want to please the people who are sitting down there. People don't come to worship God or to sing in a gospel gathering, to follow you, to listen to you, because you are giving them what they want. No, that is not a genuine reason to be in that gathering. Anybody who cannot come to worship God genuinely for what God is, for who God wants, then he's not ready. So you don't drop the standard just because you have some Gen Zs there who want this kind of thing. No. If you want to look at it properly, look at people from other religions. You see them compromise standards? They don't. Anything that is worship in their gathering, you see it is sacred. They don't fall below the standards. They don't compromise it. Yes, because they give that regard to the God that they are worshiping. Whatever they are worshiping, they hold it in high esteem. So why should it be us Christians? Why should we compromise the standards? Our first priority is that God. God is a person. He's a personality. He's a spirit, rather. I mean, he's a spirit, but it has personality. It has certain attributes. There are things he likes to hear. You see? So if you are my visitor now, you come to my house, and then I want to entertain you. If I really want to entertain you to the best of my ability, I will ask you what you like to eat. That is the highest form of entertainment.
Sure.
Of course, if I give you something else that is different, out of my own volition, out of my own discretion, you will take it because you are my guest, Abi. So it might not be your best. But if I really want to make you happy and I want to give you the best of treatment, what I will do is to ask for what you would really want to take. So that's the difference. So there are things that God himself likes. So those things are what we give to him if we really want to regard him at that level. Yes. So we don't just come to, you know, a place of worship and begin to sing the songs that we sing at parties. Even our dressing, our appearance, still part of worship.
Sure.
Yes, we cannot afford to, you see, really, if we want to really talk about it, we can say that there's really no a proper definition of how a Christian should dress. There are no details, there are no standards. There's no way to say, this one, the way you are dressing, God does not like this. In reality, there is no proper way to define it. But you see, there are ways you can dress and look irresponsible. In Christianity, there are some things we call moderation. That we call moral standards. There is morality, there is moderation. So we have to be moderate in everything that we do. We have to look like the one we represent. Every song that we sing, every words that we speak, every appearance that we carry on our bodies, they remind people of something. There is a history where it is coming from. You cannot separate the history and the foundation of those songs and those appearances from where you can't separate it. Once you appear that way, once you sing that kind of song, you are reminding the people of certain things. Where those songs are coming from. You can't separate. So you are actually not doing anybody any favor by doing that. Because what do they remember when you play songs like that? When you dress like that, what do they remember? We cannot really say that somebody has committed sin because of the way he's dressed. No, we can't say that. You know, it's just like àwọn tó máa ń sọ pé obìnrin gbọ́dọ̀ wọ ṣòkòtò wọ́n lẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni. It's not, there's nothing like that, really. You know, we have to consider culture, you know, cultural backgrounds, the environment where we are, and lots of things. So many of those things, they really wouldn't matter. But for one thing, what do the people, what comes to the mind of people we are ministering to when they see us? Will they accept you that way you are? Do you look like a responsible person? We all know that Jesus is a responsible person. So the definition of responsible will paint a picture in their mind. You see, if Jesus were to be alive today, would he appear this way?
True.
Those are the questions we should ask. So we should avoid things that we do, the kinds of songs that we sing, the kinds of words that we speak, the kind of appearance that will make people see us and begin to imagine other things that do for what we represent. Like I said, morals and moderation. Those are very important, because you see, the real danger is if we say that these things don't matter and we let it go. Where the problem is that the younger ones who are coming behind, they will take this indiscipline to another level. And when they start doing their own, you will not be able to correct them, because they will tell you that so and so person did it the other time and you said it was okay. Imagine some time ago I was telling somebody was asking me about, is it good as Christian artists to be weaving, for men to be weaving their hair or tinting their hair, putting all this,
coloring
like cream color, red color, and then painting, and then maybe using all those big chains, and then maybe earrings, all those things like all those Americans used to do.
Yeah.
For Christian artists to do. And I told him, well, in reality, there is no way to say that it is a sin to dress like that. You can't really say that, because we are physical, and the person who can only see us and say that we have committed sin is God, who is a spirit. So anything that we use our discretion to use, we have to consider that we are humans. So we may not be able to say that somebody has committed a sin by dressing like that. We are not God, we can't say that. But we can tell you that you have a divided house by appearing like this. Some people will not receive you because of the way you are appearing. So if you want, and you know it, some people will not mind, depending on their mindset, depending on where they are coming from. They will say it's okay, no problem, it's okay now. You understand? But there are some that will tell you, no, you can't be preaching gospel and appear like this, or be singing this kind of songs, or be talking like this. So if they would have loved to accept you initially because of the way you appear or the kinds of songs you are singing, you can look like that. So you are not being honest to yourself. You are not being sincere to yourself, because those are the people you wanted to win for the Lord, Abi. Now you are putting them away by reason of the way you appear. So why don't you sacrifice that urge to appear like that for the sake of the gospel? Try to look responsible, so that they can, if that is what you need to do for them to accept you, then do it. That is not too much for you to do for them to accept you. Do you get what I'm saying, man?
I do.
Yes. So it is not, there's no standard about that. So I was telling that person, I said, this generation that are coming behind, if you tint your hair today and we say it is good, it's no problem, there is nothing about it that is wrong. The next time all these Gen Z people are coming, you will see them with earrings on their nose. You will see men using lipsticks. Yes. You will see men with earrings and all those things, and then they will tell you that, well, our big brother did so and so things the other time. It was okay. Even though they have taken it to the next level now, it is way off the line. But you won't correct them, because they will give you examples of the ones that are done before that you said it was okay. So we have to set that boundary, not because what the person did was actually wrong, really. Like I said, you can't really tell. But let's set the boundary to avoid these things being abused by the younger ones.
Okay.
Let us have mouth. You have to tell them, no, you can't minister this way. This is not good. You have to correct these things from now. When those people start doing all kinds of things that are very, very wrong, that you self, you won't be able to correct them, because you don't have things. examples of other people who have done similar things, and you didn't you said it was okay. So it will be okay for any other person that is doing it. So let us set the standards, let us set the boundaries, and let us know what we are doing. We need to look responsible. We can't afford to look reckless. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we must look like what we preach. Let people see us and say, okay, these are Christians. They are supposed to look responsible. The image that forms in the heart of people, even before they start listening to you. Yes, there are some things you'll not be able to tell, you see, after the image has been formed. So don't look people like that. If I want to preach to people who smoke Indian hemp and all kinds of things that are injurious to health, if I want to preach to them, maybe I live in their community, do I have to be smoking what they are smoking so that they can live with me? You see, if I want to preach, if I was a woman and I want to preach to people who are doing prostitution, how they dress, all those skimpy dresses, half naked, and all those things, appearing half naked and all those. If I want to preach to them, I want them to accept me. Do I have to dress and look like them and then climb the pulpit like that so that they can see me and then they can accept me, they can connect? Do I have to go that far? That's what I'm saying. So we don't have to take it that far. We have to be responsible. Jesus is a responsible person. That's the picture everybody has about him. So anything that is on us that makes us look irresponsible, we should let it go. Nobody is saying it is a sin or not. No, we don't know. It's only God that can tell that. But there are some things that can be right or wrong. If you're working in a company and then maybe they say today Friday, we are going to be wearing native attires to work. All of us, that's the dress code. And then you come in shirt and tie. Different from whatever that person is wearing. It is not a sin to dress like that now, Abi. At least not naked. But what you have done is wrong as far as what they agree to do is concerned. So the Christian community has standards. We have moral values. We have moderation. We have things that we have boundaries. We have limits that we don't cross. So if you are representing that kingdom, you are representing that community, you have to look like what they stand for. That's the way it is.
Wow, thank you for the insights. Is gospel music experiencing growth? Yeah. If so, what are the challenges gospel singers face in staying relevant while keeping their message intact?
Is gospel music growing?
Yeah.
Well, that question is two ways.
Okay.
Two ways, yes.
So if so, what are the challenges gospel singers face staying relevant?
Regardless of what is happening, gospel artists, all the things that we are complaining that we are doing that are not good, that we need to, correct ourselves and improve upon. That God is doing his work. Telling you, God is really moving in this country with the kind of powerful songs that some of our artists are releasing. Do you know that there are lots of people who have been led to, people who never used to worship God before? There are some, when you hear them now, you can't pretend as if you are not hearing them. It will push you into worship, even if you were not a Christian before. I've had such testimonies. There are some of my songs, I even have people who converted from other religions to Christianity. Yes, by reason of some of my songs they listen to. I have about 3 of them like that.
Hallelujah for that.
Yes. One of them is a pastor's wife now in one of the big churches around. It was my song that converted her.
Amen.
I have about 3 people like that. Those are the ones that came to me that made me know how many more others outside I don't even know. I have people that have given testimonies of healing by listening to my songs.
Thank you,
People who were undergoing depression, who were thinking of committing suicide. Now, I'm just talking about myself now, what God has done through my songs. Now, there are lots of powerful songs from many artists out there. that God gave them powerful songs, and the songs are popular. Everybody is singing songs around everywhere now, and the songs are changing lives. People are coming into the place of worship by reason of those songs that they have heard. Not worship God, but when they wake up in the morning and they hear those songs, it makes them go to the presence of God and then find a place to worship God. And then all kinds of positive, testimonies from those songs. So even though we know that there are some people who are contaminating the gospel music by doing all kinds of things that we say are not right, that are not expected. But at the same time, the ones that are doing it right, God is making use of those songs and then creating the kind of atmosphere that are needed to put the gospel in the proper way. So the gospel is growing, yes. From that perspective, it is growing. I would say it is growing, regardless of all these things I'm saying. The gospel is growing. We are seeing. Do you see that? There was a time I went to minister in a church in the middle of the night, and I saw people who people I knew that used to stay by the roadside. They were actually prostitutes at night. I drove past them around 11 o'clock. Yes, when I was going for that. And then in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., I saw some of them inside the church. And I was able to identify them because they were people I knew. Even though they weren't talking, but I knew their faces. Way back. And then I saw them in the church. They later came and then they were weeping during worship time. And they were crying and they were weeping and they were you will see that it wasn't fake. So we can say that what's the big deal? But if you look at it from this angle, that they could have remained where they were, but the worship that was going on in the church drew them from where they were and into the church, and they really worshiped. Well, maybe tomorrow they will go back to their field. Well, that is not my own problem, but at least at that time, if God could do that at that point in time, then he could even do greater things with worship, with these beautiful songs. So from that angle, I want to say that the gospel is growing. Yes, there's serious growth, especially with the kind of powerful songs that have been dished out of this our gospel music space over these many years. It's been good.
Thank you, Prince, for that. Thank you. Can you talk about a time when you felt discouraged in your journey? What motivated you to continue?
Well, there were many things that could discourage me, but I'm a very stubborn person when it comes to things like this. Let me use that word. What are the challenges that I face when I'm bent to achieve anything? I don't allow myself to be discouraged, no matter what. Yes, some of let me say the worst discouragement that I faced was my dad. He didn't want me to become a musician.
He doesn't want you to become a musician.
He really opposed me, and he did everything to stop me.
Why?
I wouldn't really blame him, because I understood where he was coming from.
Okay.
Times when they were growing up in those days, musicians were not seen as any like they weren't seen as serious people. They usually see new people playing music as unserious people. Lots of them, they ended up being womanizers, and then drinking and all kinds of things. That was the picture everybody had, and then they saw them as lazy people who didn't they were doing music because they didn't want to work. That was the mindset. In this part of the world, our parents back then, they don't appreciate creativity. They don't understand the fact that these things are gifts, and it was God who put it there. He never believed that I could become a celebrity that the whole world will be celebrating. He didn't see it like that. So that was one very, very serious discouragement that I had. And he did everything to stop me from playing music. but I refused to be discouraged. I pushed ahead no matter what. Anything I had to do, I did it. And then of course, I convinced him at the end of the day, because all along, even when I was playing my music, I didn't stop going to school. I was still going to school and I was doing well in school.
Good.
And I was putting the two together. So at the end of the day, when he saw that this guy was not going to give up on this music, he had to leave me alone. Yes, after so much of his efforts in stopping me. So if there was anything that was much of a discouragement that could have stopped me, I think that was the thing. There were other ones that I consider as not as serious as this, but this one was the most was the most serious one. I was able to scale through it, through the help of.
Wow. What about your mom? What was your mommy saying during that period?
You said?
What about your mom? What was he saying during that period?
My mom was a bit different. Women, a lot of times they are emotional. She appreciates the fact that she was seeing it from the angle that I was doing the work of God. Isolation. So she was trying to persuade my dad to let me do it, and then at the same time she was also telling me that ṣé wàá gbọ́rọ̀ sí bàbá ẹ lẹ́nu àbí ṣé wàá tiẹ̀ bóyá kò tiẹ̀ síta nǹkan tó ń sọ díẹ̀ bóyá kò tiẹ̀ try nǹkan báyìí wò. She was in between, trying to mediate between us, and I think that is the normal thing any good mother would do.
Yeah.
She was on my dreams, and at the same time she didn't want me to disobey my dad. It's in between, all through. And then at the end of the day, when everything worked out fine, she was glad that she played the role that she was supposed to play. She played it well.
Wow, thank you for that. Thank you. So what practical advice will you give to upcoming gospel singers who are trying to navigate today's music industry with integrity?
Now, my advice to
the upcoming one,
to upcoming ones, especially the generation, I don't like to use the word upcoming. I prefer to use the generation coming behind.
Yeah.
Behind us. You see, they need to understand that music is not for lazy people. Yes. You don't do music because there is no other work to do, or because you don't want to go to school and you think music is one easy option that you can just settle down. It's not. If you want to be a successful musician, you have to be hardworking, you have to be diligent, and you have to be sure that you have the talent in the area where you want to practice, especially singing. Don't come and say you want to be a musician, you want to be an artist, and then you don't have the gift of singing. It starts from the place of gift. The place of gift is the starting point. That is what you develop yourself on. The gift alone is not enough. You have to develop that gift. Number one. And then two, you have to go to school. Don't, because of the desire to want to become a musician, music minister, whatever, and say you will not go to school. It doesn't work like that. There is nothing anybody wants to do in this life that you don't need to go, that you will not go to school. School is very important. It has a way of coming in handy. Apart from being in the going through the four walls of a school, there are some things that rub onto you from school, and you are going to meet them. You will meet people, you will talk to people, you will negotiate, you will manage people. All those things, you get them subconsciously from school. Without knowing, those things get into you. So school is important, no matter how you look at it. So, like I said, number one, you have to know that you have to have the gift. You have to be talented. Yes. Don't listen to those people who tell you that you don't have to know how to, you don't have to have the talent. You just have to be available. It's not about holiness. Holiness is good as a Christian. Christian values are good. The heart that loves God is good. But if you are not first a musician, if you don't have the talent first, you don't have business doing music. The talent must be there. It is the talent you will develop. If there is no talent there in the first place, then there's nothing to develop. So you don't just bother yourself. You can do other things like maybe production, like maybe writing songs. You know, there are so many things you can do. You can be packaging programs, packaging events. There are those, you can do marketing and distribution. You can do digitalization. You know, all those things. You can do branding. There are lots of things you can do in music. If you can't sing, so if you must do it, you can look at other areas. But if you want to sing, you must have that talent. If you don't know how to sing, you can learn how to play instruments. So that is very important. And then 2, you have to go to school. Very important. Number 3, diligence. You have to be diligent in your work. And number 4, God is always at the center of every gift that you have. If you don't realize that it is God is at the center, pride will take you over. Arrogance will take you over. And you will not have the character to manage whatever thing you achieve in music. And then when you are not able to manage your status, to manage whatever level God has placed you, the only thing that can happen to you is for you to come down or never grow beyond where you are. That is my advice for people, people who are aspiring to become ministers, or those who are already into it and then they are aspiring to grow. The coming generation, you know, that is my advice for them.
Thank you, Prince. You know, when you were talking, I was just thinking about something, because when you look at being a pastor, being a gospel artist, majority of people migrate from being a choir. You understand? So what about the people that have wonderful voice in the choir? They're the one that sing solo and all those stuff. So what do we say about that? Because majority of people singing now, they're from the choir and they didn't go to music school.
Yes. You see, there are times that, in fact, many times, you learn subconsciously.
Okay.
They don't have to go to school for it. I didn't go to school to study music, but I was. Some people don't go to school, they go for what you call vocational training.
Okay.
Some call it some kind of apprenticeship to go and learn about music. I was always equipping myself with materials that are related to music, always listening to music, always scoring songs. Many of the things that they will teach, even some of the things that people will not, they can't teach in music school, I taught myself. Yes. So music is something that you can teach yourself. You know, art, like I said, if you see music as an art, you will understand that people can train themselves and learn it themselves by listening to music, by equipping themselves with, you know, materials that are related to music. There are people who do weaving of hair plaiting, hairdressers, that didn't go to learn it from anywhere. Yes, they were just looking at people, just observing, and then they started practicing, and then now at it. So they don't have to compulsorily go and learn it officially. As long as their mind is at it, they can learn and become good at it. As long as the gift is there and they realize it and they follow it up. The second one that you talked about, people who are in choir, who are singing in the choir. You know, when somebody is singing in the choir and then it becomes an artist, whereby you become involved with ministering from place to place, it doesn't stop you from being in the choir. Like for me now, I still play trumpet with my choir once in a while when I have the time. Most Sundays, there are lots of Sundays that I'm not in church, I'm ministering somewhere else, but I have my home church where I go to minister. There are certain Sundays of the week, or even midweek programs, that I still go to see me with the choir ministering. They are singing and I'm playing trumpet. So it doesn't take you away from the choir. If you have the time, anytime you are available, you can still join the choir and be part of them. All the people in the choir, everybody cannot go out and say, I want to become a minister. Some people will remain in the choir. They will be, so it's like that. There will be a few people who will become ministers that has been sought for outside. So those ones will go and they will come back. There will never come a time when we will outgrow ministry with the choir. That is the foundation. That is, you have to have a church where you belong, where you function with the choir as a musician. Even people who don't even minister with the choir again, many of them, you still see their contributions Many of our gospel ministers you see outside here, the popular ones that don't even have time to attend their churches on Sundays, go and check. Many of them, you will still see their impact. They are still sending money back to the choir. They are still helping. They are still in their forums. The choir where they grew up from, you still see them in their WhatsApp groups, still discussing, still planning, still helping them to put things in shape, still giving advices, suggestions. Anytime they have the chance, even if it's just twice, thrice a year, you see them back in the choir doing one or two things. That should be. We will never graduate to a point where we won't have anything to do with our foundation again. That is wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're getting there. How do you protect your personal devotion and spiritual growth when your ministry becomes your career? Now you are a musician, gospel artist. Now tomorrow, maybe they call you, come and minister. You are ministering in one church. Now tomorrow, a man of God call you. They are having a crusade. Yes, you woke up again. You are in the crusade. Then on Tuesday, they call you. We're doing something in Ibadan Stadium or wherever in Lagos Stadium. Then you are there. Okay, next tomorrow, they say you have to be in England or you have to be in America. Come and minister. So how do you protect your personal devotion and spiritual growth?
You see, if your personal devotion and spiritual growth, if it had been intact from the start, there is no commitment anywhere that will make you lose it. Yes, you will always find time to do that. In fact, it is not even an issue for me. You see, if you have problems putting that in place because of your schedules now, because of your busy schedules, because of your commitments now, that means you've had the problem from the start. You just very sincere with yourself. Secure that place before. So when little pressures come, when little distractions come, and then you use that as excuse and then not be able to go, no, it doesn't work like that. Once it had been taken care of from the start, you will not have an issue, no matter what commitment you are having. So it will never be a problem for anyone who had known what he was doing from the start.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the final question. As a gospel singer, what are your views when people say Christianity is a scam?
I've heard lots of them.
Are eating your money.
You see, those people, I think that is one of this, what is the word now? Is it stupidest or most stupid? Statements like that are one of the silliest things I've heard in recent times. All those people who come out to say Christianity is a scam, pastors are eating our money, we should stop going to church, there is Jesus Christ is a scam, the Bible is fake, it's just an ordinary storybook. You see, I'm disappointed when I hear that people who went to school their time and spent many years in school are the same people saying these kind of things. You know, it's no sense. There is no wisdom, no matter what. You see, let me start from here. There is no religion that is a scam. Yes, I'm not even talking about Christianity now. All religions, there is none of them that is a scam.
Okay.
Every religion has its ideology. The goals might be different. Our goals, our aims and objectives might be different. What we are targeting might be different. Our end game is different. Are different. But there is none that is a scam. All of them have what they are pursuing. Now, I can look at some religion now and say that, well, their ideology and what they are pursuing doesn't resonate well with me. I could call it evil. I could call it the end of it is not good. But people who are doing it, they have a reason for doing it. Yes, they have their ideologies. There is something they are pursuing. All these religions we are talking about, the religions are not something that we just woke up to overnight. All the books, the religious books, Bibles and every other religious book, they were books that were written, documented over thousands of years. It's not just that somebody just woke up and started writing the Bible. You know, generations upon generations. Some people started it, they died in the act, and passed it over to the other generation. Those ones continued over thousands of years. So are you telling me that all those periods that different generations they were all documenting lies? How can it be possible? If I start a documentation now and I grow old and I die, and then my children or my other relatives, they continue on it, how are they going to continue if it was a lie? How am I going to tell them? I will say, these things I'm writing, they are all lies. When I die, you must continue the lies and begin to write, and then they pass it on to the next generation again. And then you have that for hundreds of years. Is that possible? No. Now, these people go to school, they did history, they taught them history of thousands of years ago, and they believe normal history books that we learn in school. They didn't come and say, they are not saying that they believe everything. They are not saying that those things are lies. Comes to Bible, they say the Bible is lying. How is that possible? Do you know how many Christians are on this planet Earth? We have Christians maybe about 3 billion, 0.9 billion or so. The same thing with the other religions, hundreds of millions of them. So you are telling me that 3 billion people can be stupid? I was telling some of these people who talk all this nonsense. One of them, I knew him. I had this personal contact, and I was telling him, I said, do you know that the best scientists, many of the best scientists that postulated theories, that did inventions, that we are using to enhance our science and technology today, many of them are Christians. Do you know that?
Many of them are what? Sorry?
They were Christians.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
The best scientists. Many of the laws that we use in physics and chemistry and mathematics today, many of these people, they were religious people. Some of them were not Christians. Some of them come from other religions, but many of them were religious people. They were not people who were saying there is no God. In fact, some of them got inspirations from the place of meditation. Meditation and prayers and seeking inspiration from the spirit realm. That was where they got their inspirations. The likes of Isaac Newton, Timothy Dalton, Robert Boyle, Albert Einstein, all those guys were religious people. So if you say Christians are stupid, are those people stupid too? Do you see the caliber of people? Do you know that people who are achievers, great achievers in the field of medicine, professors of medicine, doctors, wealthy people, they have done it all, they have seen it all, they have read all the books in this world. Many of them are pastors in some churches. People who are not pastors, out of them, they are using their money to support the gospel. Even some of the richest men, the wealthiest men in this world, who don't have anything they are working for again, they are using their money to support the gospel. You think people like that can be stupid too? There is something they know that you don't know. Some of these people are saying that Christianity is a scam. Many of the people who own the companies where they work, especially those ones who are outside of the country, many of the people who are top officials, who pay them salary in whatever companies, many of them are religious people. They have one religion or the other that they are doing, that they are supporting with their money. And you that you are collecting salary under them, you are saying that religion is a scam. You see? So it's a very stupid talk to come out and you are just saying religion is a... See, do you know that church as a body, the church is saddled with the responsibility of taking care of many people who are disadvantaged in terms of financial capabilities. Yes, people who cannot afford to eat. There are many pastors and many churches that pay house rent, hospital bills, all kinds of empowerment.
True.
But in Christianity, we don't just announce these things. We don't make noise to eat. Who redeem is feeding in one day. Do you know how many hospital bills they are paying? How many house rent? How many water borehole projects they are doing? Do you know how many people they are feeding at the IDP camps? Even winners, many churches. And then those guys will come online and they will be saying their pastors are lazy people. Nigerians are lazy. That's why they are going to church. Who are the lazy people? Pastors that have farms, they have chains of businesses that they are doing. I know people who were bank executives, and they were while they were working as bank executives, they were still pastors. When they resigned from banks, they got back to pastoral work, ministry work, and they are doing it full time, and they are still making their money outside, and they are using their money to fund the ministry, to do all kinds of humanitarian services. And somebody is coming here to say that pastors are lazy. Nigerians are going to church day and night. Many of us, we are praying even for things that do not need prayers, because the government has pushed us to that position. It is the government. These people should be using their platform, their pages, to talk against the government. When the government sits up and they do what is right, all these fake pastors that we are seeing, doing fake miracles and then deceiving people, all of them will be called to order by a government that is up and doing. You know that fake people who call themselves pastors, some that God did not even call, they said God called them. Meanwhile, they called themselves, not God that called. We know all these things. You see, it is the duty of the government. The religious institutions are under the government, like any other institution. It is the government that will put things right. But because our government is not serious, that's why all these fake pastors, that's why they are exploiting people and doing all these things. Some of them are criminals that should be jailed. That's the truth. Don't do atrocities so we know. It's not as if we don't know. But at the same time, there are still very good pastors, very good churches that are doing the work that they are supposed to do.
Sure.
Lots of them. So you can't come and outside and be saying that Christianity is a scam. How can one person scam over 50 million people? That person has to be a genius. You that you are saying that you are standing for humanity and whatever you are standing for. How many followers have you been able to command? So somebody is now scamming people now. He's now controlling over 50 million people all over the world. Presidents of nations are there supporting this thing we call gospel. When Donald Trump was just sworn in as president, did you see how they were celebrating Jesus in the White House?
Hallelujah.
Donald Trump and his cronies, all his friends, guys you saw in that room, many of them are billionaires all over the world, and they were celebrating Jesus. And you one I don't even know what name, that you are just in one place collecting one stupid salary. You now come out and say all those people are stupid. What's wrong with you? How can 3 billion people be stupid?
It's not possible.
I know professors of medicine in some of the big teaching hospitals in this Nigeria. When they want to do surgery, surgeons, they will pray. When they do surgery, who are they praying to? They are praying to God in the name of Jesus. Professors emeritus, old people, 70 years and above. You tell me those people are stupid? A person like that can be stupid. People who have made all the money they can make in their lives. So they have gone that far in life, and all these years they have not known that Christianity is a scam, and they are still praying to Jesus, and they are still pastors on pulpit in churches. You see, all these people, all these Nigerians that are in the diaspora, that have, they are a bit comfortable in diaspora now, they have gotten jobs there. Many of them are guilty of this thing. They now look back at home and they call Nigerians here, they call us stupid. Just because life has become easy for them. Them Nigerians that they call
not stupid, all people.
When these Nigerians get out of this country and they go to other countries, suddenly they become champions. They become the hardest workers. They become industrious. Suddenly they become the best in all the schools they go to. And you call them stupid while they were back home here. At that point, you are supposed to know that it is the environment that is making these people to be like this. How can you, and the people you left back home, you are calling them stupid just because life is easier for you where you are? So these people need to know that the church is still doing what it's supposed, even though like I said, there are people who are abusing opportunities and then doing these things wrong. People who are supposed to be religious leaders and they are there calling themselves, yes, we know, but you cannot because of that now call the whole of the totality of Christianity a scam. It is a very stupid thing to say, and those people are not wise. Like I said, they think, many of them think they are wise. Some of them will even go as far as saying there is no God anywhere. And then a lot of times I'm disappointed because I look at them and say, how can, if you really went to school, especially those ones that did sciences, and you did physics, you did chemistry, you did biology, and you understood what they taught you, then you should know that all this knowledge that you have, there has to be an intelligence, a supreme intelligence behind all these things. Unless you are dull yourself, if you are a smart person and you are intelligent, you will know that all these things cannot happen by coincidence. Yes, look at all the machines, all the computers that we have made today. All those things, we know that they could not have come to be without human intelligence. They are not coincidences. It was, these were results of deep thinking, intelligence by humans. Now, the same scientists and inventors that made these things, they have told us that the human body, the human brain, is even a higher and more complicated machine. Many of the machines they design today, they patterned it after some things in our bodies. The camera was designed after the way our eyes function. The computer's memories, they told us that our brain is like a higher version, a much higher version of computers. In other words, we are like machines too. So if you agree that we need intelligence to build those machines as humans, then if we are higher machines ourselves, that means there must even be a higher intelligence to build us. So at that point, you must know that there must be something somewhere that is higher than us. That is that we call God. And you come out and you say there is no God. What kind of foolishness is that?
Thank you, Prince.
All those people on social media, talking all those nonsense things, but I just look at, where do I want to start engaging these people now? I just look away and I just leave them. Whoever is wise enough to see that these things are not right, they will see it. Whoever will see it will not see it, no matter how much you explain to them.
It's true.
There are some people, they are stupid and they will be stupid forever. They will never get out of it. So, I mean, so it's nonsense talk. Jesus is a scam. Bible is a scam. Christianity is a scam. All of us Christians, we are stupid. We don't know what we are doing.
That's not true. Thank you so much for expatiating on that. Thank you. I know a lot. One thing I realize in the body of Christ is that, you see, the good that goes on in the body of Christ is not on social media. But it's the little mistake people make that they put on social media. Because you see, like you said, there are so many churches that are feeding a lot of people, that are impacting the community. They are doing a lot. You understand? But at the end of the day, they said the pastor is eating their money. Anyway, you said it all, Prince. So, Bob, before we round it off finally, I just want you to, I know we're talking about the challenges of gospel singers.
Okay.
So what one word you want to encourage someone as a gospel artist that has been in the industry and they are not making headway? Because we know there are so many people, and thank God for social media. Now people are putting themselves on YouTube. They will try to know, oh, this lady has a wonderful voice, this man has a good voice, where have you been? You understand? So for somebody in the music industry that have been there, maybe somewhere in a rural area, and they've been doing well, but unfortunately they're not making headway, we're not hearing their name, what one words do you want to give, or word of encouragement do you want to give to such person?
You see, anybody that is doing music, whether, even if it's secular, whether gospel or secular, you have to understand that music is not a business or a career that you put out now and you immediately begin to get results. It is something that needs to be built. It takes time. As a miracle happens, usually music takes time to build.
But what about people that they will tell you they just started last year and you see them like that, boom?
There are a few, that was what I said, except it happens like, there are a few like that, very few. But we cannot use that as a standard for every other person, because we know that it doesn't happen like that. It's just like Christianity now. You know, there are some people that when they are sick, they won't go to hospital, they will just pray and they will fast and they will be well. So, but not everybody is like that. Few people like that. Every other person that has not gotten to that level of connection with God, that level of faith, you have to go to hospital, you have to take medicine, or else you will die. Yes. So there are some people, they have reached that level. It's a level of energy, frequency, and vibration. There are some people, they have trained their spirit man in a way that they can attract healing, you know, from the other realms. Common to everybody. So I cannot use that as a standard now and be advising people that when you are sick, you don't go to hospital, just be praying. You know what I'm saying? So that is the way it is. So there are people that it will happen to like that way. They will just start music and then within few years, they are already up there. It happens like that. Once a while, very few people. However, the standard and the normal trend is that music takes time. So you have to be ready for it. So while you want to practice music, you have to have it at the back of your mind that there has to be something else that you are also doing to support that music. So that while the music is growing, you are not waiting for the proceeds of that music to sustain your life. There should be something else. That is, otherwise, that music, you will be frustrated out of it. So that is what everybody should know. When you are starting music, have it at the back of your mind that there has to be something else that is generating income for you. Music many times will not start generating income for you at the inception. No, it takes time.
So they need patience. So one thing was just coming to my mind, I think we need to write this up, because the question, what about the issue of mentoring? As a gospel artist, is it okay to have a mentor, or is it just like, you know, I'm a freelancer, I can do it by myself, I got the talent, I got what it takes?
Yes, it is good. In fact, it is very good if you have a mentor. But if you cannot have a mentor, if having a mentor is difficult, you can have role models.
Okay.
So there are two different things.
Role model.
Yes, when it's a mentor, it is somebody that you have direct contact with, you can talk to, somebody you can call, somebody you can visit, that you can have personal relationship with. Yes, that is mentorship, whether over the phone or somebody you can speak to. Somebody is a mentor is actually a closer person to you. Yeah, but a role model, it can be somebody you've never even met in your life. But watch what he's doing, you follow him in terms of, you know, his history, things happening about him, things happening around him, how he's doing it, his life history. You are studying it and you are trying to emulate what you see from him. That's a role. So if you can't get a mentor, at least get a role model. You see, those things will help you to avoid the mistakes that those people have made. Sole importance of having a mentor, having a role model. There is nothing that you do that does not have its own problems. But when you have somebody beside you that has passed through it, the problems that he has faced, you will not face as much problem as he has faced. Watch him closely. You will avoid certain troubles, and your journey will be shorter. In terms of having a role model or having a mentor. So it is very good. It will help.
Wow. Thank you, Prince. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been wonderful anyway to host you on this talk show today. And thank you so much for honoring this invitation. So for all our viewers or people that will come across this video or our discussion, let me put it that way, is as a music, we know there is nothing we do in life, there is no challenge. Even as a pastor, there is challenge. Even as a businessman, there is a challenge. As a businesswoman, you always have challenge. It takes time to build. It takes time to build, and at the same time, we shouldn't look at other people. You know, I used to say something, we shouldn't look at other people's watch to run our own timing. Everyone's timing is different. We know Prince has said so much, even the church as well, where they need to come in to encourage the gospel singer. We know this is their own calling. And I know some are talented, and because there is no proper support, you know, they back out. And I know that God of heaven that has called them will not be happy. So we need to support any way we can support them, either in our churches, in our community. We know they have this talent. Let's encourage them. Let's support them in the way we can support them. And as a gospel singer, if you've been there and you've not been heard, the heaven heard you. I know sometimes when I'm singing, my children will say, "Oh, mommy, you're singing an old song." I say, "You know, it's not old in heaven." You understand? Because God understand what I'm singing. The most important is that what I'm singing is glorifying God. I'm happy. I'm not a gospel singer. I used to be in choir. I used to be a choir for many years. But I love gospel artists. I love them. I mean, those ones that are really singing unto God, worshiping unto God, not the one that they said they are gospel artists and they are something else. So that's the encouragement from me. And just don't worry. As Princess said, you need a mentor as well, or somebody you look up to and said, you know, I like this person. I know I like the way he sings. I like the way he do things. Yes, you can look up to them. And finally, music takes time. My guest has said it all. It takes time, you know, to come to limelight. Don't rush. Let God himself showcase you. So that is it from us today. And to my wonderful guests, I say thank you once more for your time. And God bless you for joining me on this talk show.
You're welcome, ma. God bless you, ma.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.